Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am 2ProBeats and today I have an exciting story that I want to share with you all. As some of you might know, I've been on a quest to find the perfect monitor for mixing and for mastering that is also capable of impressing my clients who are visiting the studio. After a lot of research and because of my great relationship with EVE Audio, I've decided to go with the 3010s. Before I dive into the review, let me give you some context. I previously owned a pair of EVE-SC3010s. Don't get me wrong, they are beautiful speakers with an incredible mid-range and a phenomenal clarity. However, I always felt like I am missing something in the low end. The bass response just wasn't as deep or as powerful as I wanted, especially for the genres I work with. About a year ago, I've moved from my home studio to a new, bigger space, which was a significant upgrade. The new room isn't just my personal space. It's also a place where I host clients. I started noticing that the ATCs weren't making the same impression on my clients like they did on me. In terms of SPL and bass output, they were somehow lacking for the bigger space. I needed studio monitors that were able to fill the room and deliver that punchy bass that both I and my clients were craving. That's when I've decided it's time for a change. When the EVE 3010s arrived, I was immediately struck by the size. I have the unboxing video here on my channel, you can check it out. These are substantial monitors, each weighing about 84 pounds, that's 40 kilos. Unboxing them was quite the event. I got a really good workout from that process. In my opinion, the monitors are built like tanks. The MDF cabinets feel solid, and I think that's a big plus because with solid cabinets you can reduce resonance and you can reduce unwanted vibrations. The bass port is in the back, so I have to make sure that I don't stick them right next to the back wall. I have them pretty close right now, but I haven't noticed any substantial problem with the low end. All EVE speakers are featuring the front knob where you can make all the changes. You can access the DSP because all EVE speakers are based on DSP. That means you have EQ, you have the level, and a feature that I actually love is the fact that this start at really low level, so you don't get those nasty pops and clicks that you get with other analog speakers. For those interested in specs, these are three-way monitors with a 10-inch silver cone woofer. I think the woofer was updated this year. It features better performance than the previous silver cone woofer. Next to that, we have the 5-inch mid-range driver and the AMT RS6 tweeter. This is a staple when it comes to top end. I prefer this type of tweeter, the AMT, rather than the ribbon tweeter. When it comes to frequency response, they go really low, 29 Hz to 21 kHz. And one reason that I like the monitor is that the frequency is limited at 21 kHz. I don't like hearing that really high frequency that I can hear on other monitors. So the specs are saying that these monitors can deliver high quality, full range audio with plenty of headroom. First, I want to talk about the bass performance. This is where the EVEs truly shine for me. The 10-inch driver delivers deep bass, clear bass, punchy bass. A bass that I was missing on the ATC. The low end is deep, tight and controlled, and the speakers have the ability to fill up the entire room. Tracks with heavy bass in trap, the big 808s, I have no issue mixing and mastering those now. The mid-range remains clear and detailed, and I love the fact that the crossover points are a bit lower, so the tweeter does a bit of the lifting when it comes to the mid-range. I think the crossover point is at 1.8 kilohertz. The RS AMT tweeter delivers a bit part of the upper mids. The mid-range was something that I loved about the ATCs, and I wasn't willing to sacrifice that. The dedicated mid-range on the EVEs is nice. It's not on par with the ATC mid-range, but I get plenty of resolution in the mid-range with the EVEs, so I can make my mixing and mastering decisions with ease. Besides the phenomenal bass that the speakers deliver, one thing that really impressed me was the AMT RS6 tweeter that handles the high frequencies with finesse. The highs are crispy and airy, but without that harshness that some other speakers have. I can work on long sessions without having ear fatigue, and like I've said, I appreciate that the high end is limited to 21K. It's crispy, but it's not over the top bright. I like that. Let's talk about stereo imaging and soundstage. The speakers offer a great stereo image. The image is wide, but it doesn't sound washed. I can clearly position things in a mix without too much of an effort, and this spatial accuracy allows me to work faster when it comes to depth and how I perceive the phantom center. It's nothing impressive. I think I've listened to speakers with a better soundstage that was a bit more impressive, but I think the EVEs have the correct soundstage, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. When it comes to dynamic range, the speakers can handle working on them on lower levels or blasting them at max. I was quite afraid that with the speakers being so big, being main speakers, that they will require a lot of power and that I was pushed to work at higher levels. That was something that I didn't want to. And most of the time with the EVEs, I work at lower levels and the quality stays the same. Of course, they sound better when pushed a bit harder, when the 10-inch woofer starts moving air around, but I have no issue with working on them at lower level. Also, with a higher SPL than my ATCs, now my clients can benefit a truly immersive listening session when I just blast the speakers fully at the max. It's something that you have to experience with such powerful and big speakers that deliver such a deep bass. It's just incredible. One of my concerns was that the transition from the ATCs to the EVE will be hard, since I was quite used to the sound of the ATCs. To my surprise, it didn't take that much time to get accustomed to this beautiful sound that the EVEs produce. I miss the mid-range of the ATCs a bit, and the clarity that was there in the mid-range with the ATCs, but now, after hearing truly full range speakers, I just cannot go back. It's just amazing. The pros: you have a powerful bass response. The 10-inch woofer was something that I was missing in my life. High SPL can fill any size room. Exceptional clarity in the mid-range and top end. Robust build quality. I think the speakers will be durable. They seem well constructed. Now, a couple of cons. Size and weight, they are large and heavy, and you need to ensure that you have plenty of space and sturdy stands. I think I'm at the limit when it comes to size of the speakers for my room, but I like it like that. Another con is placement sensitivity. Since the bass port is in the back, you need to be careful with the positioning. Price point is another one. These are not exactly cheap. I think the price is 6K for the pair. in this price range, the competition is really limited for what they are offering. For me, they are worth it. The improvement that I got in the low range is worth it on its own. The fact that these are impressive speakers, the fact that they have such a high SPL and can fill up the room. I think moving from the ATCs to the EVEs was the right move for me. Here are my final thoughts. Switching to the EVEs has been great for me. They addressed a couple of the shortcomings I've experienced with my previous monitors, especially in terms of bass response and SPL in a larger studio space. Not only my workflow didn't get hurt from making the switch from the ATCs, but I feel that I'm a bit more confident with the translation now. A big part of the room and my studio is the ability to correct the space with the Trinov Nova and the AMC from Universal Audio. That's been a big part of my confidence to move from ATCs to EVEs. The next move is to get a pair of small speakers where I can get the best mid-range. I don't know exactly in what direction I will move, but I have Amphions on the list. I might go back to a small pair of PSIs just for critical listening and the mid-range, because that's where I feel the EVEs are not showing me 100% of the image, and it's not the speaker fault. I have a couple of nulls in my room. Since these are really big speakers, the room that I'm in is not 100% finished when it comes to acoustic treatment. I will work more on the placement, on the acoustic treatment, on the bass strapping, and probably I will have another update in a year or so. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoy it, please subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and see you guys in the next video. Cheers.